welcome to the Lindbergh Center, a spot in the Section 5 Class 4A Boys Basketball Championship. On the line next, semifinal action between number 3 seed Maple Grove and number 2 seed Armstrong on Cable 12. Cable 12 Sports presents high school boys basketball, a Section 5 Class 4A semifinal. The 3rd seed, Maple Grove, taking on the 2nd seed, Armstrong. And good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox, along with Lionel Jones, a Park Center assistant coach. And Lionel, we've already seen in this tournament just how good defending state champ Minnetonka is. They knocked your club out in the first semifinal round, but these teams here, you're hoping to get a shot at the Skippers in the championship.
Minnetonka is so tough. What you have to do is guard their perimeter guys and look for that penetrating dish, and that's what really hurt us in the first game. So look for both of these teams to play that type of defense today, try to adjust, and maybe come back on Wednesday night for the regional finals and try to combat that offense.
Now, these teams have not met in the regular season, but they're fairly familiar with each other from summer play and things like that. Maple Grove certainly has a size advantage on most teams they play. Armstrong, more of a perimeter game. They shoot the ball well from the outside. It's a kind of an interesting contrast in styles.
Maple Grove starts what I like to call the big redwood trees in the middle. You have 6'9", you have 6'6", you have another 6'6" guy out there. They're going to be tough to guard indoors. What Armstrong has to do is possibly double down on those big guys, make them kick it out, and maybe help them take some perimeter shots.
Talk about a couple of key individuals to look for in this contest for Maple Grove. One of those Redwoods, as Lionel said, Jeremy Oligmuller, is one of a balanced attack for the Crimson.
Yeah, he's the Big Easy. He's big, and he makes the game of basketball look so easy. They're going to try to get it to him indoors, and what he has to do is stay fundamentally sound, take some drop steps, and go to the board strong.
Larry Weehm, the Armstrong coach, paying Maple Grove a huge compliment and saying that he feels their post players have some of the best footwork that he's seen. And for Armstrong, a guy that they're hoping can come through in a big game. They have a lot of standstill jump shooters, but Jake Gerard is a guy who can score with the shot and also with the drive.
Jake Gerard is the long-distance dialer, and what he's going to be what they call the kicker. They're going to try to get the ball indoors and try to kick it out to him. Hopefully he can get some big shots during the game and help them win this thing.
Gerard averaging just about 13 points per ball game for the Falcons, 2nd on their ball club. Now, Armstrong has not been extremely healthy down the stretch. Maple Grove a little bit more so. You're kind of hoping that when it comes to this time of the tournament that you can turn it up, whether you're a little bit sick or a little bit banged up anyway.
Well, let me tell you this. Larry Weehm is a master of getting guys focused for one particular game. And this is a big game for them, and I'm pretty sure he's got these guys ready to play tonight.
All right, it's Maple Grove and it's Armstrong facing off in the Section 5 semifinals. The winner gets the tough task of facing Minnetonka for the section championship. Please stay with us. Basketball action coming your way on Cable 12.
The stories we cover happen here in the northwest suburbs. They have a direct impact on our viewers. That's why we say Cable 12 News is closer to you.
Well, everybody will have the story about the scandal in Washington, but where else are you going to find out about the expansion in Maple Grove or the Robbinsdale teacher who's making a difference?
You'll want to watch Cable 12 News because it really is closer to you.
Community Journal, a program about life in the northwest suburbs. Community Journal, seen 3 times daily, only on Cable 12.
And welcome back to the Lindbergh Center, the home of the Hopkins Royals, and for today, the home of the Section 5 semifinals. As the starting lineups here for you, the Maple Grove Crimson start Ryan Peterson, a 6'9 senior along with Jeremy Oligmiller, 6'6" senior at the forwards, Jeff Hess, 6'6" senior in the middle. Jeremy Grev, the point guard, a 5'11" junior, and Brent Lawson, a 6'3" junior, is the other guard. There's Ron Zoppi, the only coach that the Crimson have had, of course, in their 3 seasons. Armstrong Falcons seated 1 spot higher than Maple Grove, and their lineup looks like this. Jake Gerard, 6' senior, really more of a 3-guard attack for Armstrong, but Lee Christopher, a 6'3" senior, the other forward. Andy Gilbert, a good shooting big man at 6'5". Joe Tongan, a 5'9" sophomore, and Sean Cates, a 6' senior for the Armstrong Falcons. Larry Weehm back on the bench after hip replacement surgery. The previous telecast we had with the Falcons, he was not yet back with the club, so good to see Larry back on the sidelines for Armstrong. If you look at who's playing well coming in, you'd have to give an edge to Maple Grove, but Armstrong certainly a team that on any given night is capable of playing with just about anybody.
There's no doubt about it. Look for Armstrong's defense to be a little bit more intense today. Like you said, Larry Williams is back on the sideline, so that helps them get motivated to play better defense.
Peterson and Gilbert will go up. Peterson controls the tap. Throw wasn't very high there. Brent Lawson going to the baseline, right at the bucket. He misses it. Lawson gets it back, draws a foul, and he'll head to the free throw line.
Maple Grove's coming out very aggressive offensively. Saw Lawson drive the baseline, and look for an easy shot off the backboard.
Free throw is good for Lawson. Makes them both 2 for 2 for Brent Lawson. And Maple Grove man-to-man here. Tongan defended by Grev, and now it's Cates with Peterson on him. Look at that, 6'9" against 6 foot. Going with Hess on Gilbert here. That could be an interesting one. Gilbert turns, fires. Hess got a piece of it, but taken back by Christopher.
Armstrong with their signature 4-out, 1-in motion, looking to get some three-point shots.
Back around to Gilbert it comes. Tongan will send it over to Cates. Good rotation around here, but Maple Grove not giving much up. Here's Gerard taking it at Lawson, and he draws a foul.
Very good. That's what Armstrong looks to do. They're going to try to spread the floor using their 4-out, 1-in motion, and then they're going to try to drive the lanes and try to get some shots. As you see, the floor is spread. He takes the ball inside. Little hook there, and he tries to get it off the glass. Doesn't fall for him, but he goes to the line and shoots 2.
Jake Gerard, a very good free thrower, 84% this year for the Falcons, and he misses on the first opportunity. Still 2-0 Maple Grove here. Gerard will try and get one to go. Second one is good, so Gerard puts Armstrong on the scoreboard here, 2-1. Armstrong coming with a trap.
Armstrong in their 2-2-1 full court press, trying to slow down Maple Grove in transition.
Hess back out. Lawson will rip a 3. That one is short. Fight for the rebound, and Gilbert came up with it. Here come the Falcons on the break. Gerard going to pull up over Grev. Not there, and rebound by Jeremy Grev. Grev stops and fires from the wing. That's short, and rebounded by Christopher.
Right now, Armstrong's philosophy is saying we're not going to let Maple Grove set up on defense. We're going to try to beat them down in transition, get some fast break points.
Out to the top. Gerard, and then back over to Cates. Going to find it tough to shoot right over Ryan Peterson, who's a good shot blocker and much, much taller. There's the steal. Flipped ahead to Grev. Grev going to go to the hole. Oh, and Tongan gets the block. Maple Grove fans wanted a foul, and they don't get it. Instead, it'll just be Maple Grove basketball out.
As you see, he tries to get an easy bucket in transition, and the Falcons are having none of that today.
Nice block by Tongan, who's not real big, but he got back, and guard on guard sometimes can be pretty interesting on a fast break like that.
Falcons are in their 2-3 zone, trying to get the outside guys involved in the offense. They'd rather go outside than have Maple Grove go inside with the big fellas.
In low, and Gilbert got around Oligmuller to knock it away and force the turnover. Good play by Andy Gilbert. And that's what Larry Williams said, is not that he doesn't respect the outside shooting of Maple Grove, but he fears the inside game more. He's going to prefer to force them to beat them from the outside if possible, and not that they can't do that as well. Here's Gilbert going to take that three-pointer. It's good. Andy Gilbert, ring it up for him, and it's 4-2 now in favor of Armstrong.
That's who Armstrong needs to get involved in this game today is Mr. Gilbert. He's the big play guy. He's the go-to man.
Peterson's pass deflected by Sean Cates and out of play, and Maple Grove will get the basketball back. A slow start offensively here, just 4-2 Armstrong, and we've played 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the first quarter.
Right now they're just trying to fill each other out, trying to see what each other is going to bring to the table today.
Grev launches a deep one, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It will be Armstrong basketball. Wait, maybe not. The officials are going to confer here. And the call is changed. It will be Maple Grove retaining possession after the miss.
That's very good refereeing in a big game like this. You don't want to make any mistakes. Talk about it and try to make the right call.
Lawson around Tonga, no good. Hess with the rebound. Bodies everywhere in the lane. Christopher comes up with it, and he is out of bounds. So Maple Grove will get it back.
As you can see, this is the region semifinal, so they're going all out, trying to get that rebound. Every possession is important in this game.
I think the reason for the no call there was that Gilbert was deep under the basket there, so they weren't going to call a charge. Here's Lawson taking it to the baseline, and he scores it. Lawson is a tough matchup. 6'3", takes it down the baseline very strong.
Lawson has been given the green light today. You can see he's being very aggressive offensively, going to the hole almost every time he gets the ball.
Christopher cut off. Gerard going to fire up that three-pointer. Ring it up for Jake Gerard this time. Lawson got caught behind a screen a little bit. 7-4 now in favor of the Falcons.
Mr. Long Distance, as you see, that's what they want. They want to kick it out to him and have him knock down the big jumper.
Now around to Lawson. 4:20 to go, first quarter. Armstrong by 3. Maple Grove pretty stationary here, looking over this Armstrong zone. Peterson whips it in the lane. Christopher called for a foul as he tried to strip it from Oligmuller.
Yeah, that 2-3 zone seems to be slowing things down for Maple Grove. As you can see, they're working the ball around the perimeter. They try to go inside, which is their strength, and the Falcons strip it away for the foul.
Grev not going to be shy, but it's way short, and Cates up for the rebound. Now Gilbert with Hess on him. Gilbert wants to go around him on the baseline, but knocked away and stolen by Oligmuller on a nice play.
That's the danger zone. You don't want to go inside and try to kick out against Maple Grove. Those guys have a big wingspan, and they tend to get turnovers.
High-low there, Oligmuller to Hess, and Hess scores off the glass. Crimson within a point, 7-6. 3:30 to go now here, first quarter. Jay Wilcox, Lionel Jones with you on Cable 12. Cates with Peterson on him. Now over to Gilbert. And Gerard got Lawson up. Now he has to dish it off as Brent Lawson recovered. Gilbert going to fire it up over Hess. That time in and out. Oligmuller rebounds.
Right now, Armstrong is getting pretty decent looks. Their shots just aren't falling for him.
Amazing to see the difference in size around that high post there. You've got Oligmuller or Peterson cutting through there, and guys about 6 feet tall trying to deny them position. But so far, not too bad a job by Armstrong. Oligmuller going to be called for a walk as he went to the baseline. Now we've got Colin Hodges, 55, in for Armstrong. There's 14, Caleb Marks, who had a nice game the other night. Can provide some instant offense off the bench for Maple Grove at a guard spot.
Colin Hodges, I like this kid. He's a super freshman. He's going to be good the next couple of years.
Gerard with Lawson on him, now around to Christopher. Gerard fires over Lawson. It's short. Hess knocked the rebound over to Grev. Crimson a chance to retake the lead. It's 7-6. Lawson firing the three. That one was halfway down but comes out and rebounded by Cates.
Pretty good shot by Lawson. Just didn't fall for him.
Christopher to the middle. Now Hodges back around to Gerard. 7-6 Armstrong. Tongan cut off, so he goes to Hodges. The lefty, leaner, rolls in, counted and one. Jeff Hess called for the body foul there, and Colin Hodges, an exciting young player, scores it for the Falcons.
Well, Colin Hodges flat out just works hard. He's going to go up for the little jumper here, make some contact, and the ball falls for the fantastic freshman.
Well, he reminds me in a way, not that I'm comparing him to him, but to Kevin Garnett in that he's going to need to add a little bit of strength, and that comes with age. But other than that, very solid player with the basketball there is Colin Hodges.
There's no doubt about it. Barring injury, when this guy is a senior, he's going to be tough to stop.
Hodges knocks it down. He completes a three-point play. 10-6 lead now for the Falcons. 2:06 to go first quarter. We've got a substitution in for Maple Grove now. Mike Peterson has come in, number 24. And Brian Nolan, number 21. Also Tim Gilbert, 22 for Armstrong, reporting in for the first time. So seeing the bench players get some court time in the opening quarter here, which I've always felt the way to go. If you know a guy's going to play, get him out there fairly early. Don't make him sit for an hour or so before he gets in there. Nolan missing. Christopher comes up with the rebound. Armstrong by 4 as they hit the front court. Cates with marks on him. Now back out. Here's Tim Gilbert going at Nolan. Cut off, so he goes to Cates. Firing up to 3. No good. Mike Peterson the rebound. Nolan to Lawson, and he'll pull it back out. Marks in some trouble on the baseline and drew a foul on the play, it looks like, as Hodges tried to cut him off and instead is going to be called for the block.
You know, I really have to give Armstrong credit. They're doing a pretty decent job defending the inside. They're making Maple Grove perimeter guys drive to the hole. They're not getting the ball inside to the big guys, and that's seeming to help them right now.
Yeah, we really only had one time where they got a real good, nice look inside when Hess caught the pass from Oligmuller. Lawson swinging it for Nolan. And Lawson put it on the floor right in front of Gilbert, who tried to he did knock it loose clean the first time, but then in trying to get the basketball is called for the foul, and Andy Gilbert.
As you can see, the drive here by Lawson, Gilbert sticks a hand in there, I believe, and tries to get the ball out of there, but he commits the foul.
Good look at it there on the replay. He did have it clean the first time when he knocked it loose, but in trying to get it, he grabbed all body. Hodges got a piece of that one as they tried to dump it into Hess.
Armstrong is just not going to let Maple Grove get any shots indoors today. Everything's going to have to come on a drive or from the perimeter.
Marks going to fire from the top of the key. That's good for Caleb Marks. 3-point field goal, his first bucket of the game. 10-9 now for Armstrong.
Big shot by Caleb Marks.
Been hitting pretty confidently late down the stretch here from what I understand for the Crimson. Here's Gerard going at Lawson, and he draws a foul. Gerard hits the deck hard. Now Gerard, he's probably not quick enough that he's going to blow right past somebody and get a layup, but he's not taking no for an answer. He's driving it at him and forcing him to foul him.
One thing about Jake is he's very good around the basket. He's a master at driving the lanes and getting the ball as close to the basket as he can and adjusting to the defense and making the shot.
Miss there for Andy Gilbert. Peterson rebounds. Chance for the Crimson to take the lead. It's 10-9 Armstrong. 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. 15 now, and see if Maple Grove's going to hold it for one shot, as it looks like they will here. It's not too much of a stretch to try and do that with this amount of time left. Back out top. Nolan's going to have to think about shooting. Into the lane he goes. Too hard. Rebound Gerard, who turns and launches it the other way. No good. We have completed one quarter here at the Lindbergh Center, and our score after one, Armstrong 10, Maple Grove 9. We'll be back. The unsung athlete of the week.
A new hero every week only on Sports Jam. And we promise John and Jay won't sing. Sports Jam, Monday through Wednesday at 3:30, 7, and 10.
into the Maple Grove huddle here as kind of an interesting first quarter here. Neither team shooting the ball quite as well as they would have liked, but we've seen things develop kind of as we expected in terms of Maple Grove trying to look inside but being forced to shoot more from the perimeter, and Armstrong trying to get that weave going and get somebody open for jump shots.
You can bet Ron Zoffi in his huddle was drawing up some type of play to try to get the ball indoors to alleviate some of the pressure on the perimeter guys.
Gilbert, kind of a clear out here against Holigmuller, and he throws it back out to Tongan. They'll get the offense going here. Tongan, Gerard, Christopher, Tim Gilbert, and Andy Gilbert on the court for Armstrong. Now back out here comes Andy Gilbert. Cut off there, goes to Tongan. Mike Peterson, Ryan Peterson, no relation there. Grev, Marks, and Oligmuller on the court for Maple Grove. Tough shot for Gerard, not going to drop, and Marks rebounds. Maple Grove has done a good job on the boards, and they figure to have the advantage there. Mike Peterson fires and hits. First basket for Mike.
Big time shot coming in, looking down in transition, and he pulls up for the jumper and knocks down the deuce.
And a timeout taken by Armstrong here as that basket gives Maple Grove an 11-10 edge here early on in our second quarter of play.
You can see Maple Grove coming down in transition, looking to the corner. The guy tries to come on and play defense, but he's there too late, and he knocks down the jumper.
Oh, Mike Peterson, another guy with some pretty decent size at 6'4". Maple Grove, they just seem to have good size throughout their lineup, even out on the perimeter players, other than obviously Grev and Marks are your typical high school size guards, but beyond that, everybody else seems to have pretty good size.
Must be something in the water out there, Jay, to grow guys this big. I mean, this is incredible for a high school team.
Armstrong, on the other hand, one of the smaller teams that you'll find with the players that they've got out there on a regular basis. Here's Christopher. Cut off, Marks, oh, let's see, now saved in. And Gerard, I think, was fouled by Ryan Peterson. Ryan Peterson will pick up the foul here, trying to get to the floor. Gerard just got there a little bit quicker. And normally in a case like that, whoever gets to the ball first is probably going to get the benefit of the doubt on the call as they kind of collided.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Coaches love those fouls because those are hustle fouls.
Gilbert had it knocked away, and then he puts it up. It's short. Over to Christopher, though. Christopher cutting on the baseline, doesn't get it to go. Gilbert the rebound, that spins out. And then a foul on Lee Christopher trying to get it back.
Right now, the size of Maple Grove is really bothering Armstrong when they penetrate in. They're not getting good looks once they get in the lane, and that's what Maple Grove wants them to do.
Grev will inbound to Marks here. Actually goes to Oligmuller, and now right back to Jeremy Grev. Armstrong still looking to trap here. 1-2-2. Haven't really had any success doing so, although this does slow Maple Grove up a little bit, even if it doesn't result in any turnovers.
That's the agenda. They just want to slow Maple Grove down a little bit.
Mike Peterson rims it around, and it drops. Second basket for Mike, one from each baseline. 13-10 lead now for the Crimson. Christopher around to Gerard. Here's Gilbert with Oligmuller playing behind him. Turns, fires, hits. Andy Gilbert. Good turnaround jump shot there. He has 5 points, and it's a 1-point lead for Maple Grove.
Right now, Armstrong has adjusted and went to their 1-2-2 three-quarters court press just to slow them down a little bit and try to make a lob pass so the guys can get a steal on the weak side of the floor.
Grev calling out a set here for Maple Grove. Peterson looking back out to Caleb Marks here. 5.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Down low they go with it. Nice catch there, but Peterson lost the handle a little bit on the way up and misses the shot. Mike Peterson that was. So Armstrong a chance to retake the lead here. 13-12 is their deficit now to Maple Grove. Not a whole lot of offense in this one so far. Fairly slow pace. Gilbert has to pull his arm free from Oligmuller there. Now steps around him, shoots it up there, won't go, but Oligmuller fouled him.
Yeah, Jay, I think he hit the nail right on the head. Not too much offense, but these two teams are very good defensive teams, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that in this game today.
You see, Oligmuller tried so hard to get out in the passing lane that he went out and allowed Gilbert to step around him and shoot it up. Maple Grove, their post players, I think, very aggressive, and I think there is a possibility of getting them in foul trouble. The only problem is you've got so many guys they can put in there that it doesn't necessarily hurt them. But guys like Oligmuller and Hess are, let's just say they're a little physical, and if the game is called tight, it can be a problem for them. But when you've got some guys off the bench that also have good size, it hurts you a little bit less.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's the luxury that Maple Grove has, being able to bring off guys off the bench that are 6'6". Just the numbers like that is incredible.
Gilbert goes 1 out of 2. We are tied up at 13 apiece here. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first half from the Lindbergh Center, home of the Hopkins Royals. Down low it comes to Oligmuller, goes around Gilbert and scores. A nice move in the lane. There was some traffic around, but Oligmuller took it strong.
That's what Maple Grove wants. One of the few times they've been able to get the ball inside, and they were successful in that opportunity there.
Tongan to Gilbert. Hess on him. Back out to Tongan, and that's a bump. Maple Grove, again, awful physical there. And not going to get away with it there after the drive into the lane. Looks like it'll be on Grev. That is his first. Not quite in the bonus yet. Here's Girard launching. That's good. Three-pointer. Can't give him room like that. Jake Girard knocks it down. And he has 9 points in the game. It's 16-15 Armstrong. Ryan Peterson pulling up. That's short. Rebound fought for and gathered in by Oligmuller. Now it's Caleb Marks, and that's good for 3. Caleb Marks, his second three-pointer of the game. And Maple Grove retakes the lead 18-16. He really looks good and confident going up with that jump shot now.
Boy, the role players for Maple Grove are really stepping up in this game. They want to make their first state tournament appearance this year.
Gilbert goes to the floor there. No call either way. Girard now to the baseline. He's cut off, partially blocked. Girard thought he was fouled, and the Crimson come out of the pack with it. Maple Grove by 2, 18-16.
Maple Grove needs to stay patient. They don't want to come down and take a quickie and give Armstrong the ball back. Just work the ball around, and they'll get a good look eventually.
Here's Grev launching the high arcing jumper, no good, and Andy Gilbert rebounds for Armstrong. Tongan with Grev all over him. Jeremy Grev, a good defender. Girard and Peterson, what an interesting matchup that is. Peterson, good quickness to be able to guard somebody that much smaller than him out on the floor. Christopher going to the bucket, and Oligmuller called for a hold. That will be his second, and it will also be bonus time now.
I think that was the game plan coming in for Armstrong, to try to get some penetration and pick up some quick fouls, get into the bonus early, and try to go to the line and convert some of those free throws and stay in the game with Maple Grove.
Christopher at the line for a 1-and-1 here for Armstrong. No good, and rebounded by Oligmuller. Marks puts it on the floor to the baseline. And back out to Jeremy Grev here. Maple Grove by 2. 2:40 to go here, second quarter. Winner gets Minnetonka in the Section 5 championship. Ryan Peterson open for 3. It bounces out. Oligmuller, a solid rebound, and he scores.
Very hard work on the boards, and he rewarded himself with 2 points there just by working hard.
20-16, Maple Grove opening up what in this game seems like a margin a little bit. 4 points. It's been that close all throughout this first half and very low scoring. And Maple Grove, you know, it's tough to continue to check off guys off the boards that are that much bigger than you. And in many, you know, these are not tall, thin guys either for the most part. Guys like Oligmuller and Hess, and they're put together pretty well. It's tough to block them out consistently all night.
Yeah, guys that big will tend to wear you down if you stay in the game. So what Armstrong has to do on the offensive end is trying to get those guys in foul trouble. So now Maple Grove has to sub with guys who aren't really used to playing a whole lot. And I think that's their agenda coming into the game.
Well, we have not seen Jahara Draper. It looks like he is going to check in now for Armstrong. Been a tough season for Jahara. Boy, I saw him early in the year, and he just looked phenomenal for the Falcons. Was their leading scorer early in the season, but then he was injured, I believe, on 2 different occasions, and then this week has been missed practice because he was ill with the flu. He's number 40 for Armstrong, and if I'm not mistaken, he just went over to the scoring table to check in. He's a 6'2 senior. I asked Coach William how he was, and he said, well, he's feeling a little bit better, but I don't think he's feeling well enough to play, huge amounts of time in this game. But we'll see if Jahara can get some things done. Colin Hodges is also back in there for Armstrong. So is Tim Gilbert. Cates going to pull up. Tough jumper going backward. Hodges got a piece of it, but Marks comes up with the rebound for Maple Grove.
Marks is playing a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
He's going to stop and fire on the run. This time spins out. Jahara Draper with the rebound for Armstrong. Armstrong down by 4 here. Tim Gilbert spinning on Grev, but he's cut off. Now Gilbert's going to turn and fire. Off the glass, no good. Draper with a foul over the top.
Right now, Armstrong needs to concentrate and work on getting better shots. Right now, they're not getting the shots that they want. They tend to force shots when they're being guarded aggressively. Just take your time and run your offense. Let your offense work for you.
Armstrong again looking to trap here. Hess into the front court and stolen by Gilbert. I was just about to say, you better be careful with the ball there. Now it's on the floor at the other end, and Grev comes up and forces the tie-up. Possession error will go to Maple Grove here with 1:33 to go in the second quarter.
Trying to bring the ball down and make a post feed, and the Maple Grove guys are just there today. They're trying not to let anything come into that danger zone, which is the paint for them, and they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Peterson over to Hess into the front court. This time he's going to just hang on and wait for a guard to come help. Grev going to fire that jumper. Bounces out. We've got a foul on the rebound spot. Going to go against Armstrong. As I believe it was Mike Peterson was getting up in the air. Yeah, he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, nice jumper from outside. Doesn't fall for him. And then guys are just battling to get that rebound because possessions are important, and they just pick up the foul.
You see Cates trying to block out a man much bigger than him, and kind of once a guy starts to get in the air and you bump him, it's going to be pretty obvious because it knocked him off balance. Peterson's free throw good.
Peterson is another one of Maple Grove's role players that are stepping up really big today. It's really good to see guys play hard when they come into big games like this.
Knocks them both down. He has 6 points all in the second quarter for Maple Grove, and that's their difference right now. They're up by 6. Christopher around to Cates, trying to get it inside. Gilbert surrounded. Gilbert wheeling over Hess. Let's see if this bucket will count. It's a foul, yes. Ring up the basket, too, for Andy Gilbert. And he'll go to the line for a free throw and try and complete a three-point play. Gilbert had people around him, but he still scores it.
Yeah, he gets the post feed here, takes a move out of the book of Kevin McHale with a nice drop step, and turns around, hits the fadeaway jumper.
Not sure who they ended up with this foul, whether it was Grev or Hess. I believe it must have been Hess who was called for the foul. And Gilbert scores the free throw. He's had a nice second quarter here. 9 points in the quarter, 12 for the game. Armstrong down by 3. Here's Ryan Peterson, edge of the lane, pull up, not there. And rebound by Cates. Cates around to Tongan. Now back out to Gerard, faking the shot. Spins at Peterson. Now Tongan traveled.
Right now, offensively, Maple Grove does not want to come down and take the quick shot. That's falling into the pace of the Armstrong Falcons. What they want to do is come down, set their offense up, take some time off the clock, and hopefully get a better shot than what they've been getting.
Grev up to Ryan Peterson. And back to Grev here as they get it into the front court. Grev puts it on the floor. A hanging jumper won't go, but he drew a foul. This one will be Christopher, and by my count, his third.
Here's Mr. Grev trying to penetrate and score the bucket, gets foul in the process.
Grev looking for his first point. And he knocks it down on the free throw. Jeremy, an excellent free throw shooter at 86%. Hodges coming back in. And Josh Moberg, 6'6", junior, number 44. Seems to be a crowd favorite with the Crimson student section coming in.
Wow, Jay, height everywhere for Maple Grove. Another 6'6" guy off the bench.
24-19 lead now for the Crimson after Jeremy Grev successfully completes 2 free throws. Down to 10 seconds to play here in our opening half. Gerard taking it at Peterson, has to arc it high over him, and he hits the side of the glass. Here comes Grev, runner from half court. Whoa, it was on target but short. So we have reached the halfway point in this afternoon's contest, and our score, the number 3 seed Maple Grove 24, number 2 seed Armstrong 19. Back with more from the Lindbergh Center in a moment.
Morning in the northwest suburbs. Getting ready for another busy day.
Good morning. Coming up on Cable 12 Mornings.
Cable 12 can help with news and weather from your part of town, what's happening in your schools, and much more. For a morning show that's closer to you, wake up to Cable 12.
One half of basketball in the books here in the Lindbergh Center, 24-19. Maple Grove leading Armstrong at halftime here in the Section 5 semifinal round game. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Lionel Jones. And Lionel, an interesting first half in a lot of ways. I think we've seen maybe not the best played half ever in terms of shooting the basketball, but a lot of things have developed that have made this an interesting one.
Yeah, Armstrong, when they went in and scouted this game, they tried to find a way to get shots in the danger zone, which is the paint. And right now they've got a couple of shots off with Andy Gilbert being in the paint. They've been able to kick some jumpers out for guys to shoot some jumpers, I should say. And they're doing a pretty good job of that.
I think one of the keys in this first half has been the bench play of Maple Grove. Marks and Mike Peterson have really done a nice job here in this first half.
The role players for Maple Grove are stepping up, and in a big game, that's what you want. Just in case your starters aren't playing so well, you got the role players to come in, and it's really helping Maple Grove out. And I think that's the difference in the ball game right now.
Got a couple of first half highlights for you to look at here in this afternoon's contest. First of all, Andy Gilbert churning and wheeling against Jeremy Oligmuller to score, and I think Gerard and Gilbert are going to have to shoot the ball the majority of the time for Armstrong. Maybe some of the shots might be forced a little bit, but those are their offensive guys. And at the other end of the floor here, they swing it around. This is one of 2 big three-pointers that Caleb Marks knocked down, as he scored 6 in the first half. As we look at our first half stats here, Maple Grove up by 5. They did not shoot the ball extremely well, but a little bit better than Armstrong did in the first half. Maple Grove perfect from the free throw line, and Maple Grove holding the edge on the boards as we kind of anticipated here in this second half. Now, if you're Armstrong in this second half, Lionel, what are some of the things you try and do to overcome this 5-point deficit?
Right now, Armstrong needs to just run their offense. Try not to penetrate too much and try to get shots off in the lane, but penetrate and look for the kicks. Those guys have to be ready to shoot the ball when that ball comes out to them.
All right, Maple Grove leading this one by 5 points, 24-19. Again, the winner gets Minnetonka in the Section 5 championship on Wednesday night. We'll have our second half of basketball coming your way next. Please stay with us.
When Jesse Ventura was sworn in as Minnesota's new governor, all the TV stations were there. But only one newscast caught reaction from the governor's former hometown, Brooklyn Park. And only one newscast stopped to hear what Northwest suburban students were saying about this historic moment. It's the same newscast that brought you former Viking Bob Lertzima's thoughts on his old team's new success. It's the news that's closer to you every day. Cable 12 News.
And welcome back to the Lindbergh Center here as the teams get set for second half action. Armstrong has been getting actually gotten points from just 3 sources in that first half. 12 for Andy Gilbert, 4 for Jake Gerard, and 3 points for Colin Hodges. For Maple Grove, much more balance, and in fact, the 2 guys we talked about off the bench have led the way. Caleb Marks and Mike Peterson, each with 6 points. Then 4 for Jeremy Oligmuller, 4 for Brent Lawson, and 2 each for Jeff Hess and Jeremy Grev. And Maple Grove, when I looked at their stats, it's amazing how much balance they have. They've got a guy who's going to a D1 school, Ryan Peterson. He did not score in the first half, yet they're up by 5. That says a lot about their balance.
Wow, if you told me that Mr. Peterson wouldn't have a point in the first half and they would be up in this ball game, I wouldn't have believed you. But this is what guys have to do in big games. When one of your stars isn't playing very well, other guys have to step up.
Christopher Tung and Cates, Gerard and Gilbert, Andy Gilbert out there for Armstrong to start the second half. Grev, Lawson, Oligmuller, Hess, and Ryan Peterson, the original starting groups for both clubs as we begin our second half of play. Maple Grove still in a tough man-to-man as we expected to see here. Andy Gilbert, taken away by Grev. Grev goes right at the bucket and he charges over Cates. Grev, it's funny because he's you like the way he plays so aggressive defensively. Sometimes he's too aggressive offensively, I think, and on that occasion he was.
Yeah, right now he's got to be the floor general out there and get Maple Grove into their offense and try not to look for too many baskets in transition.
Down low, Andy Gilbert. And a pull-up over Hess, and that's good. Andy Gilbert's tough. 14 in the game for him.
Boy, you have to really respect Armstrong. They're going to get the ball inside. You know, they have not given up on that. They're going to try to get some fouls early.
Nice pass from Grev to Lawson, and he throws it down. Brent Lawson with the big-time jam, 26-21, favor of Maple Grove.
Mr. Lawson has been given the green light today. He's playing very well today.
And a mishandle by Christopher, and Lawson takes it. Lawson to the bucket. It rolls in.
Mr. Lawson is really stepping up. He's really stepping up his game, taking his game to that other level. He wants to make an appearance in the state tournament this year, and this is the way you have to do it.
28-21 lead now. The start of the second half has been going Maple Grove's way. No question about that. 6:42 to go now in the third quarter.
Mr. Lawson gets the ball in transition, and he skies up high. Just skying up really high and getting the slam dunk.
So they break the huddle here and got a substitution now. Brad Clark has come into the game for Armstrong. And Jahara Draper not on the bench for Armstrong in the second half. We told you he wasn't feeling well, and it appeared as though he was upset that he wasn't able to play anymore in the first half, and a combination of that, a sickness or whatever, but it looks like he has left their bench and not going to play anymore in this game. Hodges back in there. He's got the ball right now for Armstrong. Clark going to pull up, tough shot, no good, and Lawson rebounds. Armstrong has forced a lot of shots in this game because of Maple Grove's defense.
They really, really need to be a little bit more patient on their offensive end. If they're patient with their offense, they're going to get shots eventually, and that's what they have to look for.
Nice catch by Lawson, but Cates got back in to strip it away. Clark poked away by Grev, and he steals it. Now here's Ryan Peterson to the bucket. He is fouled in a big collision there. Hodges will be whistled for the block, and let's hope both guys are all right. It looks like they are.
There's Mr. Peterson, the big D1er, getting out in transition, trying to get an easy layup, and it almost falls for him. But he goes to the line. He's going to shoot two.
Hodges made sure he wasn't able to put that one in. Peterson will try and get on the board for the first time here. Free throw is good. Tim Gilbert back in now, and Clark will come out for Armstrong. second one no good. Hodges rips it down for the Falcons. 8-point lead here for Maple Grove. Cates going to the bucket. This one will spin out.
Right now, the game of basketball is just a game of runs, and right now Maple Grove probably talked at halftime. The first team that makes a run is probably going to win this game, and they're really trying to step up on defense and convert offensively.
Inbounded to Gerard, spinning at Peterson. Peterson erases it. Now Lawson gets it over to Grev. 29-21 Maple Grove. Trying to build on a 5-point halftime lead. It's up to 8 now. They have controlled the early part of the second half. And Gilbert coming around Oligmuller stole the ball but fouled him in doing so. Second foul on Andy Gilbert.
Again, Armstrong trying to get around that big body. That's very hard to guard down there. Gilbert does a pretty good job, but the referee calls him for the push.
Johan Surma, number 10, coming into the lineup for Armstrong. He'll replace Cates. Lawson out to Grev. Long distance bomb by Peterson, way short, but Hess rebounds and scores.
Hess, the big man in the middle, gobbles up any basket that comes off, and he puts it back in for 2.
Crimson by 10. Gilbert goes up over Hess. That one is short. Hess diving and knocked it out of bounds. It should be Armstrong ball there. Pretty good defense by Jeff Hess. He got a little off balance when Gilbert made the fake, but got back and got a hand up.
Something was said at halftime to Maple Grove to make these guys come out and play. They're definitely playing harder than they were in the first half, and the lead is starting to expand a little bit. And in a game like this, a 10-point lead is a very big lead.
Yeah, when your team only has 21 points almost midway through the third quarter, it's tough to make up 10 when you've scored as little as Armstrong has here. Maple Grove defense phenomenal. Here's Hodges going at Oligmuller, scoops it up and in. Whoa, that was nice.
The fantastic freshman, Mr. Hodges, stepping up his game now.
Armstrong down by 8. Surma going to be called for the hold in the backcourt. Had a hand check on the hip.
Yeah, right now, especially this season, you see a lot of referees are starting to call that hand check a little more. You got to get your hands off and play at your feet.
Grab over to Peterson. Armstrong trying to step up their defense now to match the Maple Grove intensity. Here's Oligmuller. High arcing jumper. It's good. Jeremy Oligmuller has 6, and the lead is back to 10 now for Maple Grove. Look a lot smoother offensively here in the second half. Here's Hodges. Cut off. Tipped away. Then Peterson hustling but can't save it.
As good as Hodges is, he is a freshman, and you don't want to have your freshmen make a lot of decisions out there. Keep the ball in the hands of your seniors, and if your freshman gets open, definitely dump it to him because Hodges has a lot of talent.
Christopher will come back in and replace Hodges now as you got a good look there at Sean Cates getting set to inbound here for the Armstrong Falcons here, a trail by 10. Cates takes it into the lane. He's cut off. Now Gerard taking it at Peterson. Swings it out for Cates. Fakes the jumper. Now pulls up. And that one bounces around and out. Andy Gilbert rebounds, and he's hammered. Gilbert getting to the offensive boards against the powerful front line of Maple Grove, and Hess will pick up the foul.
Andy Gilbert works hard for the board. Gets the ball back in the paint. He's under heavy duress, and he goes up and tries to get the ball in there, but he gets fouled instead. He goes to the line, and he shoots 2.
So, interesting gyrations under the hoop there for the Maple Grove student section trying to rattle Andy Gilbert. And I guess it worked, or he misses it one way or another there.
Yeah, those are the Crimson Crazies under there.
I don't know. That's tough to ignore no matter how good your concentration is. Gilbert makes 1 out of 2. 15 in the game for Andy Gilbert, trying to keep his club in it. They are down now 9 points, 33-24, and there's a turnover force. Pass behind Marks there. Marks and Grev not quite on the same page there. And there's Mike Peterson, who was a first-half hero for the Crimson, coming back in.
Yeah, Ron Zoffi doesn't like that. He doesn't want an unforced turnover in a big game like this. That'll help Armstrong creep their way back into this ball game, and you don't want that.
They go to Gilbert over Oligmuller. It's good. Andy Gilbert's tough when he turns and faces because he can put the ball on the floor. You have to respect the jumper as well. Into the front court, Ryan Peterson, and taken by Tim Gilbert. Good quickness. That's twice in a row that Tim Gilbert's done a good job on D. Armstrong within 7, and they can cut it further here. Kate's going to launch a long one. That one's off target, but Christopher rebounds. Now Gerard at Ryan Peterson. No good, but he draws a foul.
Right now, Larry Williams is definitely exerting his will on his team out there. They're stepping it up defensively, getting steals, getting in the passing lanes, and right now it's really helping them to creep back in this ball game. You can see Armstrong going to the bucket strong and picking up the foul.
Peterson feeling he didn't get much of him there. And normally it's tough if the defense helps out. It's tough to spin in the lane like that and get a shot away, but Gerard was able to do it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, especially against Maple Grove. The height that they bring to the table, most of the time you're not going to get shots off in there, but it seemed to work out this time for Armstrong.
Maple Grove, a 7-point edge. They led by 5 at halftime. A very slow offensive start in the second half for Armstrong. They've started to kind of get things headed their way just a little bit more here, but still down by 7 with exactly 3 minutes to go in our third quarter of play here. And the winner gets the task of facing Minnetonka. Larry Williams' club has been whipped twice by the Skippers this year, and Maple Grove gave them a very good game early in the season. That was, I believe, the first week of the year, and it was at Maple Grove, and the Crimson led through much of that game before falling. But Minnetonka, obviously, as your club found out, Lionel, playing as well as anybody in the state.
Yeah, they are. Right now, these two teams really need to focus on this game first, and then once the Minnetonka situation arises, they need to take care of that business. But right now, they need to just take care of this game and try to do what they need to do to finish out this ball game.
Gerard sinks the free throw. He has 5 points in the game. He had 4 in the first quarter and then hadn't scored since. Makes them both. And Armstrong back to within 5, just when it looked like Maple Grove might really pull away here. It's 33-28 now in favor of the Crimson.
Defense has gotten them back in this ball game. That's what Armstrong is known for, their defense.
Peterson with Gerard on him. Grev gets it to Marks in traffic. Layup won't go. We had a foul on the way to the bucket anyway. Going to go against Maple Grove. Looks like, I believe, Mike Peterson. He is called for a hold, kind of trying to help out his teammate Marks get to the basket. I didn't get a real clean look at it. Keep your eye on 24 here and see what he does to try and free up Marks. Yeah, we're blocked out by the ref.
Yeah, I think they called the illegal screen there, and this is a big possession for Armstrong because they can cut it down to 2.
2.5 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Falcons down by 5, but starting to show some signs of life here later in this third quarter. Gilbert's pass deflected, taken. Grev comes up with yet another steal. Over to Ryan Peterson, he walked.
Yeah, he definitely walked. Need to take his suitcase on that one because he was traveling as soon as he got the ball.
Big collision after the fact, but the call had already been made by that point, and there was no doubt that Peterson walked here.
Yeah, I think Peterson was looking for the slam dunk and couldn't get his feet together and traveled.
And then both guys paid the price for that one, a big collision. They try and draw the charge. Peterson will come out, and Lawson back into the game for Maple Grove. I don't think Ron Zoffley minded that one at all. It was aggressive move to the hoop. I mean, he traveled, but you don't mind seeing that. Tim Gilbert trying to look for his brother Andy, but Oligmuller doing a good job on him. Gerard takes it at Lawson, and once again he's able to draw a foul.
As you can see here, a strong drive indoors, and they're going to go to the line and take 2.
Foul is going to go against Lawson, and by my count, that would be his 4th. Seems to be some question with the scoring table. Yeah, and he is going to check right back out, and Ryan Peterson right back in. You know, you watch that replay, and you kind of feel for the defensive guy a little bit because there's no doubt Gerard, tried to draw the contact, but at the same time, if you're still moving, probably is the right call there.
Yeah, it's very tough as a coach to coach that type of situation. I mean, what do you tell your guy to do? Is to let him go past? Right here, Lawson's just trying to play good defense, and the guy just kind of shoots up through his chest and causes the contact and gets the foul.
Gerard missed the first, makes the second. It's a 4-point game, 33-29. Maple Grove looked so good early in this third quarter, but Armstrong has come back, making it a ball game again. They've scored 6 straight, and Gerard fouls Grev in the backcourt.
No need to make that foul in the backcourt. You're doing a good job pressuring the ball. All you want to do is take the point guard out of his rhythm so Maple Grove can't get into their offense. No need to reach in.
Grev will inbound here for the Crimson. Interesting that Maple Grove, I think, has actually had more trouble against man-to-man pressure than they did against the trap. They seem to have been schooled in what to do against that pretty well. Oligmuller cut off and fouled on the baseline by Andy Gilbert. He was just a half step late. Oligmuller ends up sending Gilbert flying to the floor there, but Gilbert whistled for the foul.
I think one thing you have to really do is tip your hat to the Armstrong coaching staff. They have done a tremendous job in teaching their guys how to keep the ball out of the paint. Maple Grove haven't got many shots in there today.
Now there's a question as far as the number of team fouls here. This was going to be a foul on the drive, not on the shot. And I don't believe it's 1-1 yet. Actually, it may have been a question as far as who it was on as well, and Gilbert is the one who picked it up. I thought that was pretty obvious. He picks up his third. Jeremy Grev launching, no good, batted around, and it'll be Maple Grove knocking it out last, so Armstrong gets the ball back, and they are down just 4. Hodges and Tongan will come back in for the Falcons.
Right now, Armstrong is just getting a lot of possessions. They're getting a lot more possessions than what Maple Grove's getting right now. And that's how they're creeping back slowly in this ball game.
Tongan hounded by Grev, and he threw it to Caleb Marks, who comes over with a nice steal. Great defensive guard play there. Grev, leaner off the board, no good, and Hodges yanks the rebound away for Armstrong. Falcons can cut it to 2 here. Cates back out to Christopher. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Armstrong doing a better job running their offense. They're being a lot more patient.
Down low for Hodges. Oligmuller jabs it away. Crimson up with it and up by 4. Oligmuller back around. Ryan Peterson over Cates. And it's short. Oh, Oligmuller flying through at the tip. Knocked out of bounds by Tongan. And again, it's very difficult to ask Sean Cates to try and keep a Jeremy Oligmuller off the boards here, or some of the other smaller Falcons.
Some of these guys are really working hard. They're going to wake up black and blue in the morning. Going to be really sore. But this is what you have to do to get to that state tournament.
Brian Nolan back into the lineup for the Crimson. Mike Peterson as well. Here's Marks. Now Nolan. 20 seconds to go in the third. Maple Grove by 4 points. 33-29. They'll hold for the last shot.
No need to rush here. You have the lead. Armstrong is the one that has to beat you now. Get a good shot.
Marks to the baseline. Shot is blocked by Christopher. Tongan, will he get a shot away from half court? Good if it goes, and that one grazed the iron as well. So the third quarter comes to an end here. Maple Grove pulled away early in the quarter. Armstrong answering. It's Maple Grove 33 and Armstrong 29.
On the road again, heading to your school. Cable 12's Game of the Week.
Wendell a blast and a goal!
We're there from start to finish.
Classic way.
Every play, every call.
Look out! Oh, runaway freight train.
the most complete coverage of your favorite local team. Cable 12, bringing prep sports closer to you.
1 quarter left to go here from the Lindbergh Center, and still anybody's ball game, 33-29. Maple Grove in the lead. They surged out to a 10-point edge. Armstrong scored the last 6 points, though, of our third quarter.
That quarter was a tale of 2 quarters. Maple Grove came out playing much more aggressively, but then Armstrong stepped it up and got themselves right back into this ball game. Should be an interesting fourth quarter.
It's interesting how in the section tournament you seem to get more of these low-scoring defensive battles, and the team that's better able to handle that usually wins. Marks going to the hole and going to be called for a travel. Wow, a lot of things happening on that one. He got bumped pretty good, but then he made a shot, and that will not count as he's called for a walk.
Oh, yeah, he did take 3 steps there. Took 1 too many, gets called for travel. Good call by the referees.
They've done a nice job here in a pretty physical ball game. They've called what needed to be called and let some things go. Here's Gilbert missing inside, and he and Hess tie up on the rebound. You have to be a man inside today. There's no doubt about that. They are letting the small ones go.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, you have to give Armstrong credit. They're taking it indoors, trying to get the foul called.
Gerard goes at Peterson, and Peterson sends it into the stands.
Yeah, he drove middle that time, took it into the rejection section, and got it rejected into the bleachers.
Well, Gerard, we said it's going to be tough for him to get shots out, but he's done a very good job of drawing fouls in similar cases earlier in the game. So he can't afford to back off, even though that one got rather rudely sent back. Cates out to Hodges, coming out high. Hodges going to pull up that 15-footer. It's good. He has got a sweet touch. Colin Hodges rising up and dropping it. 2-point ball game now. Maple Grove by 2.
If they can get Hodges into the game, that's a plus for them.
Nolan has it taken away by Gerard, and then Nolan fouled him as he went to the bucket.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Gerard today. He's trying to do anything to keep his team into the ball game. As you can see him coming down in transition, he gets fouled, and he does the smart thing, just try to get the ball up there, and who knows, it might go in.
Not going to be called a shooting foul there, as they ruled a reach before he went up with it, and so it will be a 1-1 coming up after the timeout taken here with 7:03 to go in our contest. Hope you're enjoying the action on Cable 12, and a reminder to call our viewer response line number. Let us know you're watching, 533-1710. You can also watch for the Section 5 championship game on Cable 12. It's Minnetonka going to face the winner of this one. That game will be played Wednesday night here at the Lindbergh Center. Another look at Hodges pulling up.
Again, you see the freshman knowing his range, bringing the ball into free throw line, extended area, and knocking down a jumper.
Well, I'd say, Lionel, it's between Zach Kiko of your club and Colin Hodges of Armstrong as far as who's like the brightest star of the future here in the Northwest suburbs.
There's no doubt about it. 2 great players, and it's going to be fun to watch high school basketball the next couple of years.
Gerard missing the free throw, and Marks rebounds for Maple Grove. Grabbing a little bit of trouble, but he gets it to Caleb Marks. Armstrong has stepped up the defense here. Oligmuller back out with it to Marks. And his shot blocked by Andy Gilbert, and then a tie up on the rebound. Oh, and that's going to be on Caleb Marks. He will pick up the foul, his first. I thought it might have been the 4th on Gilbert. Gilbert got a clean block, and then Marks fouled him trying to get the basketball back, and we'll go to the other end for a 1-1.
Wow, big call. Nice block by Andy Gilbert, hustling for the ball. I think he gets called for the slap on the wrist. I think that's what the referee saw. But Andy Gilbert goes to the line and shoots 2 on the other end.
Gilbert so far in the game is 3 out of 5 from the free throw line.
I guarantee, Jay, what you're going to see for the next 6 minutes and 43 seconds are longer possessions on the offensive end. Each team is going to come down and run their offense and trying to get good shots.
Gilbert on the year, a 74% free thrower. Knocks this one down. He's had a nice game. 18 points here for Armstrong, and in a game when it's this low scoring, that total looks pretty big.
This is a big free throw here.
Not able to get it, and Grev rebounds. So Maple Grove maintains the lead, but boy, it's been a long time since they've scored. They went up 33-23 about midway through the third quarter and have yet to score since. We get a foul underneath. Going to be a holding call against the Falcons. I believe Colin Hodges will pick it up. Nope. Check that, Joe Tongan.
Armstrong right now needs to stay focused. Don't get into it with the referees. They're doing a good job. They've gotten back in this game. No need to pick up a technical in this type of situation by talking to the referees.
It's going to be Surma with the foul, 10 rather than 20. And Tim Gilbert comes back in for Surma now for Armstrong. Maple Grove by 1. Lawson fires from the corner. No good. Tipped over to Andy Gilbert. And Armstrong has a chance to take the lead. 6:20 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Look for Jake this possession to come off the screen and try to get a good shot.
Tim Gilbert used up his dribble. Now Hodges. Poked loose, but he got it back. Gilbert back out now to Cates. 3 men out high as they try and spread Maple Grove out. Gerard to Cates. And back to Tim Gilbert. Good defense here. Boy, you don't want to be the guy Jeremy Grev is guarding. He is tough. Gerard going at Peterson. Missed with the runner. Here comes Hess.
Here's Maple Grove again coming down, running their offense, looking for a good shot.
Down low to Oligmuller. Back around. Lawson open from 15. No good. Hess the rebound. His shot blocked by Hodges. Armstrong fans like that one.
Well, last couple of trips down, Armstrong has really been tough in the paint. You'd think it would be the other way around with the height that Maple Grove has. Armstrong doing a fantastic job.
Cates penetrates and out to Hodges. Now Gerard not going to be afraid to go at Peterson. He almost fell down. Gilbert bombs away. That's a three-pointer, and Armstrong retakes the lead, 35-33.
Andy Gilbert right now saying, get on my back. I've been in big games before. Give me the ball, and I'll help you get to the promised land.
Now we've got a lot of contact away from the ball. Gerard mixing it up with Grev, and it's going to be a foul on Jake Gerard. That is his second, and it will send Jeremy Grev to the line for a 1-and-1. Johan Surma coming back in. Tim Gilbert out for Armstrong as Grev heads to the stripe. Jeremy 2 for 2 at the free throw line. He's not shot the ball very well from the floor, but he is done a good job defensively, certainly here this afternoon for Maple Grove.
Armstrong in the first half was playing their 2-3 zone. All the second half they've been playing man-to-man, and it's really bothered Maple Grove. Really bothered them.
A miss on the free throw and a foul after Cates got to it. Boy, talk about a mad scramble for the rebound. And the foul will go against Jeremy Grev. That is his third. And boy, free throws are going to be a factor down the stretch here as we're coming to the 1-and-1 opportunity here. Let's see who got fouled here. I think it should be Cates going to the line. Cates has not scored a point here today. On the season, a 68% free thrower.
Well, these are going to be a very important, too. It's very interesting. Larry Williams staying with this freshman on the floor in a big game situation. You got 4:42 left on the clock, 2-point game. The freshman's in the ball game.
He's come through, 7 points in the game and a big block a couple minutes ago. Cates hits the free throw.
Big free throw there. Big free throw.
Armstrong by 3. Boy, earlier, if you'd asked me midway through the third quarter, I would not have liked their chances of coming back and taking a lead in this game. Now, obviously, we're far from over, but Maple Grove, I didn't jot it down, but I think Maple Grove must have gone nearly a full quarter now without scoring, because they scored to go ahead 33-23. I believe that was roughly the halfway point of that third quarter, and they have not gotten a point since.
Yeah, I believe you're right. This man-to-man pressure is really hurting Maple Grove.
Down low, Oligmuller, a nice catch. Armstrong by 4 here. 4.5 minutes to play. Maple Grove, certainly not time to panic, though.
A lot of time left in this ball game.
Gilbert got around, knocked it away from Oligmuller, but he gets it back, and then Gilbert reaches in. Not a real good foul there. That's number 4 on Andy Gilbert.
Again, very tough to get the ball indoors against Armstrong. You know, I think Larry Williams should write a book on how to play post defense because this team is doing a tremendous job today.
Oligmuller will head to the free throw line for the first time this afternoon. Shoots 65% on the season, and he got to the line quite a bit, 86 times this year. Oligmuller drops it, 7 points for Jeremy. First point in an awful long time for the Crimson, and they trail by 3. Second one not there. Andy Gilbert rebounds as Hodges and Ryan Peterson hit the deck hard. So it's Armstrong by 3 points, 4:05 to go. Now they're spreading it out, but they definitely can't afford to sit on the ball this early.
No doubt about it. I think they're looking to spread the floor and penetrate and try to get a kick and try to go up by 6 points.
Cates cut off and fouled by Ryan Peterson. Lawson was the man defending him. Peterson came over to help out, and he's whistled for the foul. It'll be 2 shots now from here on out for Armstrong.
Again, Armstrong spraying the floor. You know, with Maple Grove's size, it's very hard for them to move their feet with such a small lineup in there for Armstrong. And I think that's what's giving them trouble on the offensive end.
And Lawson shaken up here as he hobbles to the bench. See if we can see what happens here. His ankle twisted as he kind of landed on the foot of sprawling Sean Cates. Actually, he may not have hit his foot at all, but he landed awkwardly, no question.
Hopefully he's okay. If he can't come back, that's a tremendous loss for Maple Grove. Lawson's been playing very well today.
He's going to try and walk it off over in the corner here, looks like. Trainer with him. Cates made a couple of big free throws moments ago, but misses here. One more try here for Sean Cates. Second one is good. 38-34 Armstrong. Grev now to Caleb Marks. Grev is open. He'll take the three-pointer, and he hits. Jeremy Grev has been ice cold from the floor, but he knocks down a huge one there. 38-37. Maple Grove within a point.
Much needed basket for Maple Grove. Much needed basket.
Grev never lost confidence. Cates takes it at Marks. Offensive foul.
Right now, you see the senior out there trying to get his guys together and huddle. They really need to stay focused in this type of situation. They've had a few calls go against them the last couple of times down, and right now they need to stay focused and stay with the task at hand.
Well, Jeremy Grev is living proof that it's possible to have a good game without shooting the basketball well. He made that last big shot, but he has done so many other things well here for the Crimson. Maple Grove a chance to retake the lead. Gilbert's gone. Andy Gilbert trying to get around Oligmuller, and he will foul out with 3:04 to play.
That's a tough call. Andy Gilbert, who's the leader out on the floor for this team, tries to reach around the back and gets called for the foul. Pretty good call by the referees. Can't reach around the back like that. That's a tremendous loss for Armstrong.
He was really the go-to guy offensively here today. 21 points, but he'll foul out with 3:04 remaining. Oligmuller to the free throw line. He has 7 points, 1 out of 2 at the line. Those came a moment ago. Chance to give his team the lead. Misses.
Lee Christopher and Colin Hodges are going to have to step up big in the post and try to survive and keep the lead in this ball game.
Misses, and Hodges rebounds, and Hess came over the top, and he'll be whistled for a foul. And we'll head to the other end. That's number 4 on Jeff Hess. Hess sporting the tattoo on the right bicep here, and came over Hodges' back that time. Hodges, not a real good free thrower. He's under 50% for the year, but he knocks this one down.
Right now, Colin Hodges has ice water in his veins, trying to keep the lead for his team.
Look there at Lawson back onto the Crimson bench. We'll see if he's able to go again. Free throw out, no good. Oleg Miller rebounds. So a 2-point lead for Armstrong, 39-37 in a game that points have been tough to come by. We go under the 3-minute mark here in the game.
Look for Grove to go inside.
Hess wants the ball against Hodges and now gets it. Back out to Grev. Here's Peterson flashing through the lane, and it's good, and we're tied. First basket for Ryan, and it's 39-all.
If you have patience on the offensive end, you will get rewarded with good shots.
Gerard taking it at Peterson, back out, a long three for Cates, no good, and Hess rebounds. Maple Grove a chance to retake the lead. Foul on Gerard.
Right now, if you're Maple Grove, you know you're the bigger team. You know you're the more physical team. Run your offense, set good screens, and you should get some good looks.
Gerard didn't like this call, but I think it was a good call, and I'm not really sure why he went after Grev so aggressively there. He had just released the pass. Here's the free throw, and it's good. We got a pretty good look at this, and I think he got him pretty good here as he swatted across him.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. You can't swat like that. More times than not, the referee's going to call that.
So Maple Grove back in the lead, and Grev makes them both. 41-39, Maple Grove. This one turning into a great ball game down the stretch. 2 minutes to play.
It's going to come down to who executes better. Who executes better?
Gerard leading back, no good. Rebound by Marks. 1:50 to go and a 2-point Crimson lead. Down low to Oleg Mueller. No good, but Hess rebounds. Hess in all kinds of traffic is fouled by, I'm not sure who, if they got on that. It was definitely Armstrong, but maybe Gerard picking it up. And that would be his fourth. Nope, Cates.
Right here, see Hess going up for the rebound. He makes a mistake in bringing the ball down, giving Armstrong guys a chance to slap at it. Luckily, he picks up the foul.
Well, we see once again right there how many times the officials have been right on the money. That was a good rebound in traffic, and then Cates slapped down across the arm. And that'll send him to the line after the timeout here. 1:40 to go. Good crowds on hand here for both student sections.
There are some of the Crimson crazies there.
And Armstrong equally well represented at the other end. And the winner faces Minnetonka for the section title. Armstrong 0-2 against Tonka this year. Maple Grove 0-1.
I think in both of those games, you have a team that Minnetonka doesn't have much trouble with as far as size and Armstrong, and then you have a team like Maple Grove who brings so many big guys to the table. And I think that tends to give Minnetonka a little bit of trouble.
Well, if you're Armstrong right now, the fact that you don't have Andy Gilbert as an offensive option anymore certainly hurts. He fouled out with 3:04 to play and 21 points, a game-high total. Big free throws coming up for Jeff Hess. Hess has not been to the line yet today, and on the season, a good free thrower at 75%. And he misses. Crimson have not shot especially well in this fourth quarter at the line. In fact, less than 50%. Misses them both. Peterson slaps it. Can they catch up to it? Hess is able to save it, but over to Hodges.
Right now, the coaches are shorting their rotations, and guys are getting tired. They tend to miss free throws because their legs are gone. We'll see how it works out for both teams.
2-point lead for Maple Grove. Armstrong with the ball. Minute 20 to play now in the game. Gerard back over to Cates. Cates to Gerard, going to take a three. It's good! Armstrong by one.
Incredible pass. Incredible pass to the corner, and the long-distance dialer knocks it down from outside.
42-41 Armstrong. 1 minute to play. Grev going to pull it back over and go to his bench, and now Ron Zoppi wants a timeout with 52 seconds to go. What a ball game here.
In these type of situations, this is where Ron Zoppi excels. He's going to get his guys refocused on what they have to do. He's coming up with some sort of game plan for the last 52 seconds, and he's going to try to keep his guys in this ball game and possibly get to the free throw line and knock down a big shot.
Well, you weren't kidding, Lionel. That's a heck of an assist there for Sean Cates. And Gerard burying the three. They got Peterson back off him. At 6'9", Gerard is not going to be able to shoot the ball over him unless a situation like that happens where you get some penetration and get him drawing back into the lane a little bit.
Flat out, that was a big-time pass, big-time jumper. You need to have big-time plays in a game like this if you're going to pull it out.
Well, and whether that shot went in or not, I think what you have to like if you're Larry Williams is the fact that Jake Gerard wanted the ball in that situation. Sometimes guys, aren't that eager to shoot the ball in a pressure situation, but you could tell Gerard wanted the basketball back.
Yes, he stepped up big time in this game. He knows that Andy Gilbert is out, so he's probably the next go-to guy that they want to get the ball to. He's got to step up, and that's what he's doing.
Now keep in mind we're well into the bonus, in fact double bonus at 10 fouls, so any foul will result in 2 free throws, which is certainly a key in this game with as many fouls as we've had in the second half. Grev trying to go all the way around Gerard, and he scores! Unbelievable bucket for Grev, and it's Maple Grove by 1.
Big-time bucket for Grev. He had to make up his mind. Either I'm going to pick up the foul or score the bucket, and he scored the bucket.
43-42. See if Armstrong will go to a timeout here. Under a half minute to play now. Over to Cates. You have to think Gerard is the man they want with the ball. Cates down the baseline. Oh, and he is fouled. Shot was blocked, but we're going to have Cates heading to the free throw line for 2 pressure free throws. Oleg Miller will pick it up.
That's what they wanted. The penetration baseline goes hard and strong, picks up the foul.
Maple Grove was asking for an offensive foul, and Cates knew he couldn't shoot the ball over those guys, so he did kind of jump into them, but he gets the benefit of the call, and Sean Cates will head to the free throw line with 18 seconds to play, and Maple Grove using a timeout. Wow, this was amazing ball game here.
Here's the look again, going baseline strong. Does what you need to do when you're in double bonus is just go strong. More than likely, you're going to get the foul call. You're going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Hess got a block, but Oleg Miller committing the foul. So, well, Sean Cates today at the line, 3 out of 4, all in the fourth quarter. On the year, coming in a 68% free thrower. And you think those kids are enjoying this game? Boy, great atmosphere here.
You have to love Minnesota high school basketball.
Cates wipes away the sweat, and he'll have 2 big free throws here. First one is good, and we are tied. 43 all.
Mr. Cates steps up to the line and says, no problem, I'll hit these. Got to hit the second one, though.
No good on number 2, and we are tied. 43-43. Grev not going to go with the timeout. He cuts to the lane. Grev, a leaner. Yes, it goes. Will it count? It looks like it will, and it does.
That's a big-time basket. That's a big-time basket in a crucial situation. Picks up the foul and the basket. That's going to make it tough on Armstrong. Drives the lane. Hodges steps up and gets called for the little slap on the hand, I believe.
Talk about gutsy. Jeremy Grev goes right at the hoop. All the way in for the bucket. That's going to be the 5th foul. Actually, it looks like they got Cates for the foul, and he will foul out with 9 seconds to play. Maple Grove up 2, and also a chance to complete a 3-point play out of the huddle here for Jeremy Grev. Well, earlier in the game, Grev was not making much from the floor, shooting almost strictly 3-pointers, but talk about coming up with some clutch buckets down the stretch.
That's what he needs to do. He's the floor general out there. He's going to have to keep his team in the game because they're trying to shut down the big guys indoors, and he has to make something happen on the outside.
Well, his free throw, as they've all been down the stretch, going to be another big one here. You'd like to make it a 3-point lead. Force Armstrong into shooting a 3.
There's still a lot of time left for Armstrong to come down on offense and get something good.
Well, Hopkins winning big over in Section 6, so they'll play Jefferson for the title.
Hopkins having the 2 7-footers.
Now Grev trying to complete a 3-point play, not there. And rebound by Christopher, who goes to the floor. They get it ahead to Tim Gilbert. On the run, Gilbert a runner.
Oh, he hit it! He hit it!
That's a 2-point shot, I believe. And we are tied. And the Armstrong fans rush the court. We will have overtime unless that was a 3. I don't know. The officials are conferring. Tim Gilbert coming up with the huge runner.
Here's the other Gilbert. Driving down the lane. He's stepping up. That's definitely a 3-point shot.
My.
He was behind the line.
Oh, man, Armstrong should have won this basketball game right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Unbelievable.
That's tough no call for Armstrong. I think it's almost better that Larry Williams doesn't see this on TV right now. You know he'll be going nuts on the sideline. That's a big missed call.
It was hard for us to tell, too, because he was on the run. Obviously, once he releases it, but it's where he takes off, and he is clearly well behind the 3-point line when he leaves the floor.
Wow.
Armstrong should be in the section championship right now.
Wow. Big call.
Instead, we'll have even more fun here. 45-45. Boy, you look back and you thought, wow, what a shot Jake Girard made earlier. Then you say, Jeremy Grev, amazing shot. That's going to be the game winner. Then you have Tim Gilbert coming through to knock it down.
Jay, this is what it's all about. No TV endorsements, no contracts. This is good high school basketball.
Now they're still talking something over at the scoring table here. You know, it's interesting. A lot of different interesting calls. You wonder if there's any consideration to penalizing Armstrong because of their fans coming on the court, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So here we go. Hodges and Peterson up, and Maple Grove controls the opening tip. We are headed to overtime.
Maple Grove comes out and runs their offense. Armstrong's the man-to-man right now. They're going inside.
Pass misses the easy one, and Hodges boards it.
Maple Grove man-to-man.
Keep in mind, Andy Gilbert is fouled out for Armstrong, not available, as has Sean Cates. Tim Gilbert, now to Christopher. 3:25 to go in overtime. No points yet here in the extra session. Armstrong's first possession after a Maple Grove miss. Christopher over to Hodges. He'll pull up in the lane. It's good. Colin Hodges has 10 points. Armstrong by 2.
There's the freshman playing big time in a big time situation.
Peterson now to Oligmuller, lofting down low to Hess. Back out, Marks for 3. It's good!
X marks the spot on that one, Jay. Hitting a big time jumper.
48-47. This has turned into one of the greatest games I've seen in a long time here. Overtime, and Maple Grove now up by a point. Tim Gilbert wheels to the lane. Hodges, why not? It's good again.
Mr. Hodges right now saying, get on my back. I'll take you there. I'll take you there.
Unbelievable. 49-48. Number of clutch shots hit. Boy, you remember there was a timeline when nobody could make a basket. And now everybody's hot.
That's the way the game of basketball is. It's a game of streaks.
Hodges nearly came up with the steal. Instead, it goes out of bounds. Maple Grove will get it back. 2:04 to go in overtime. Armstrong 49, Maple Grove 48.
Armstrong going back to the 2-3. I'm really surprised. The pressure seemed to bother Maple Grove a little bit.
Peterson, a pull-up from the baseline, no good. Bodies hitting the floor, and Gerard rebounds. Armstrong by 1 and 1:45 to go in overtime. See if they pull it out and force Maple Grove to come try and foul them.
Sorry, Jay. Coach Zoffy right now is looking really, really nervous. He knows his team is limited in what they can do as far as guarding those guys on the perimeter. He's trying to figure out a way to keep his team in the game and then try to get 2 points to take the lead.
Gerard looking at the referee. The 5-second count was not going because Peterson wasn't close enough to him. So he just took some time. Here's Tim Gilbert, fouled by Marks. Not a bad play in that spot, I don't think, for Marks. You have to try and force some action. You can't let them just continue to play catch around the perimeter.
Tim Gilbert driving the lane. You know, he's stepping up really big time right now. He's really stepping up big time.
Well, he hit the runner that should have been a three-pointer to win the game for Armstrong. Instead, it counted as 2 and sent us to overtime.
And he's a sophomore.
And wow, that one, I don't know how that one bounced in. It looked like it was off target for sure, but had the kind rim there, and it's 50-48 Falcons. And that one spins and drops. Tim Gilbert makes a huge pair of free throws, 51-48. And Maple Grove will use a timeout with 1:10 to go in overtime. It's amazing that it almost seems like these guys have relaxed more in a pressure situation down the stretch. Neither team could buy a basket for a lot of the second half. Now all of a sudden nobody can miss.
These are kids, they live for situations like this. This is what they dream about when they're in their front yard or backyard shooting free throws or shooting at the basket. They dream of games like this.
Like I talked about a few minutes ago, there have been so many clutch shots that you thought might be the game winner, might be the shot. And here's one of them. Colin Hodges draining another one as he's come alive with 2 big buckets here in overtime, has 12 points in the game, and he's a 9th grader.
I'll tell you right now, if you're a basketball fan and you want to come watch some good high school basketball the next up-and-coming years, Region 5A is the place to be. You got Hodges on Armstrong, you got Gilbert on Armstrong, and then you got Zach Tico for Park Center. It's going to be some exciting basketball. These are good young basketball players.
Maple Grove will inbound at half court here. They're down by 3, but I'm not going to say this game is over until it actually is over with the way it's gone here. There was a point when it looked like Armstrong was dead in the water in the 3rd quarter, but they came back. Around to Marks, now Grev. Grev has been the guy who's really stepped up and taken some big shots here late. See if he'll go again.
Armstrong in a 1-3-1 just to keep the ball out of the lanes. Everything's going to have to come from outside for Maple Grove. Good adjustment by Larry Williams.
Oligmiller back around. Here's Grev firing the three. It's good. We're tied.
Unbelievable.
Mr. Clutch, 51-51, a half minute to go in overtime. Around to Gerard. We go under 20 seconds. Doesn't look like they plan to use a timeout here. 12 seconds.
They're going to take the last shot.
Here's Gerard going at Peterson in traffic. Dishes it off. Oh, and it's taken away by Grev. Over to Oligmiller. 3 seconds, and Christopher fouls. I have no idea if Lee Christopher thought they were trailing, but he looked like he went after him as if to foul. 2.4 seconds to play.
You know, in a game like this, you get caught up in the emotions, and you're just out there trying to make a play. And, of course, he made a mistake here by fouling, but he's just trying to get the ball back there, looks like.
Oh, wow, what an amazing game here. 2.4 to go in OT, and Maple Grove will head to the free throw line. Christopher a little overzealous here trying to get the ball back, but it almost seemed like he maybe thought they had the foul there because he came after him so strong.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
Well, there have been various times when it looked like one team or the other had the upper hand. End of regulation, Tim Gilbert had to knock down a desperation shot, but then Armstrong looked like they were in pretty good position here, up 3 earlier in this overtime, and Jeremy Grev promptly took care of that.
Boy, you really have to feel for Armstrong, and you have to feel for Mr. Gilbert. This game isn't over, but he hit a big-time three-pointer, which should have been counted as a three-pointer. Game should have been over, and now they have to fight in overtime to try to win this game.
Jeremy Grev at the line today is 4 out of 5, and with the way he has been clutch here today, it's hard to bet against him making at least one of these. Came in shooting 86% for the year. Not the guy Armstrong wanted to foul. Free throw good, 52-51.
Big free throw.
Only 2.4 seconds to go for Armstrong. And keep in mind, again, it's not the NBA. You don't get to move the ball to half court on the timeout. Grev knocks down a pair. Crimson by 2. One last try for Gerard from half court. No good, and Maple Grove survives. They'll go to the section final.
Great ball game both ways, Jay. It went back and forth for 5 quarters of just great basketball. Maple Grove comes out on top, but Armstrong has nothing to hang their heads over. Somebody had to win the ball game, and it was Maple Grove.
What a contest here. Maple Grove will move into the section championship to face off with Minnetonka 53-51 in overtime. And we will come back with our post-game report here from the Lindbergh Center.
Sometimes it's so hectic, it's hard to keep up with all the changes happening around you. That's why Cable 12 News is designed to fit your schedule, not ours.
Those other stations, they make you watch at their times, at 5, 6, and 10. But here at Cable 12, you can watch our news just about any time you want.
No matter how you look at it, it's news that's convenient for the Northwest suburbs.
It's another reason to watch, and another way that Cable 12 News is closer to you.
What a ball game here. 53-51 Maple Grove in overtime, and we're with Jeremy Grev and Caleb Marks, who came up with some of the big plays. And Jeremy Grev, you didn't shoot the ball well all game long, but boy, down the stretch, I haven't seen anybody come through with the better clutch performances than that. Tell me a little bit about this win here today for the Crimson.
It was a great win for us. Armstrong's a great ball club. We knew that coming in. They had some Gerard and Cates can shoot the three, as well as Gilbert, and they're all just great players. And we we just wanted to get to that final game and see how we can do against Tonka.
Have you been in a game that was this exciting in high school basketball? Because I was trying to think of the last one I've seen that was better than this. I couldn't think of one.
Oh, I'm speechless. I don't know. It was great.
It looked like you really wanted the basketball in your hands down the stretch in this game. Is that something that you take pride in, being willing and able to take the big shots like that?
I don't know if I was so much willing and able. It was just I got the shots. They left me open, and they were pressuring me up top, so I just drove by my man and got to the hole.
You knew this would be a tough game. It looked like for a while in the third quarter, like you guys opened up a nice lead and you might be able to pull away, but they came back on you. Were you guys worried at all when you went that long without scoring?
Yeah, we were a little worried. Zaffi told us before the game, he said it'd be a game of runs, and that's how it turned out. They made a run, and they'd go up 5 or something, and we'd make a run, and we'd go up 3, and it was just back and forth the whole game.
Now, you played Minnetonka very early in the season, and you'll play them in the last game of the section tournament as well. What are your thoughts on the Skippers? You feel like you guys can give them a pretty good run?
Yeah, I think we just gave it away at the end of the game at the beginning of the season. I think we had them, but we just gave it away at the end, and we're just looking forward to our opportunity to knock off the defending champs.
What kind of things did they do that Maple Grove has to be concerned with? I guess a guy named Schilling might be part of the equation, huh?
Yeah, he's tough to stop, obviously, and Boone's a good ball player. It's a great arsenal of players, and I think we're going to have to D up pretty well and shoot the ball well to contend with them.
You got a few days to rest up after a kind of a heart stopper here today. You guys going to a little tough to get the heart back to normal rate after this one, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just going to have to go back next week and practice hard and get ready for the Skippers.
All right, congratulations on a great game, Jeremy. Clutch performance.
Thanks a lot.
Jeremy Greve of the Crimson, and now Caleb Marks, who came off the bench to bury 3 big three-point shots. And Caleb, is this as exciting a game as you've ever been involved in high school ball?
Oh yes, being at tournament time, I mean, no one expected this. It was probably one of the best games I've ever played in, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Great atmosphere here. There was great student sections and everything. Down the stretch, were you happy with the way you guys everybody held their composure in this one? Because it's tough in a situation like this.
Oh yeah. We made our free throws, and they made their runs, and we made ours, and at the end, we just ended up on top.
At the end of regulation time, they made a shot. What was going through you guys' mind? I mean, was anybody thinking that was a three-pointer or wasn't at the time?
I don't know. I mean, it was like it was going in slow motion, you know, if it was going in or not. And once it went in, and, you know, that's just the way it goes. And it was only 2, and we ended up beating them in overtime, and that's great.
How about Jeremy Greve's performance down the stretch here? You guys a little amazed at him?
Yeah, that's great. I mean, he's done that before, you know, in the Roseville game, and he's really come around here, and he's a guy who wants to have the ball.
Congratulations on a great win, Caleb, and good luck in the section final.
Thanks a lot.
Caleb Marks of the Maple Grove Crimson. They win at 53-51 over Armstrong. They will go on to play Minnetonka for the section championship. Hope you've enjoyed the action from the Lindbergh Center. For Lionel Jones and the rest of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. So long from Hopkins.